Today, we're going to talk about Allstate. First and foremost, I would like to again thank everybody that has joined the webinar today. I know your time is important. I appreciate the marketing organizations that invited you guys. I will ask, or maybe beg, I'm not above begging, those of you that can participate in my polls, please do so. It will help me to kind of present the information best tailored to the audience. And right now, it looks like approximately 60-40 split of seasoned veterans on this as far as being in the Medicare market, but that's kind of an even mix. So I will talk through all of that. I am going to go ahead and close this other poll out here in a couple of seconds because I do have two others that I want to get some information while we get started. Today's webinar, we're going to introduce, or not maybe introduce, because I consider Allstate the best kept secret in the med supp world. We're going to talk about all the product highlights that you need to know, how to navigate CSG, because I know that confuses an awful lot of agents as far as, seeing Allstate's quote up there multiple times. So having said all that, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this first poll and go on to the next for you guys. So my name is Ted Sims, as I said. Welcome you guys to the webinar today. And I've been in this business 23 years. I've spent 10 years directly selling in the field to seniors as my only source of income. And then I basically sold for 20 years sold products to seniors for 20 years. So I've been around the block when it comes to dealing with seniors. I hope you find my insight from what I did with seniors and some of the experiences that I'm going to share valuable to you guys. So the first thing I'd really like to talk about, and give me a second, I'm going to get this other poll up here for you guys so that we can get the next one going. If I can get the technical difficulties worked out. There we go. So I'd like to talk and start off with you guys on the opportunity that's in front of you. Whether you're a new agent, and about 50% of you guys are relatively new to the senior market, or a veteran, this is not going to change. And we've heard the statement, 10,000 seniors turning 65 every day. That's not going away. And this is kind of a graph on those numbers and what they really mean to you guys. And going back to last year, 2022, there were approximately 65 million seniors that were enrolled in Medicare A and B. And this number is a huge trend on the upslope for you guys. And I mean, if you just go out 5 years from today to 2028, we're going to be at almost 75 million seniors enrolled in Medicare. So the opportunity is absolutely huge. I'm going to talk through some of the things that means to you guys, but this is a growing business that is, one of the easiest to get into as far as insurance business goes. So, there's a huge opportunity, whether you're brand new or you're seasoned out there, to really take advantage of as we go forward over the next few years. So, having looked at that chart, and let me go back and look at it. So, you're looking at a growth of roughly 18 million seniors that are joining the market from 2022 to 2031. So if you put that into perspective, based on what's going on in the actual marketplace, 1 out of 3 of those clients, according to TLOS Actuarial, 1 out of 3 of those clients is likely to choose a Medicare supplement. And I'm going to break down some of the stats behind that for you guys. But I know a lot of agents have never sold Medicare supplements. They focus on the Medicare Advantage side. But I also think a lot of agents that only focus on the Medicare Advantage side are going to be surprised that really 1 out of 3 clients is going to take a Medicare supplement. And what that means to you guys is, if you're only offering one product and it's not a Medicare supplement, it's something that you're missing a huge opportunity. In fact, 1 in 3 of your clients is going to go to a Medicare supplement. And what you don't want to happen, especially if you're new to this business, is you don't want to be that agent that does not offer Medicare supplements to their clients. There's a simple way around that. When I first started in this business, writing business as my full-time income, I was really, I was new, I was learning, but I didn't offer any type of needs assessment to my clients. And if you do that, you're doing a disservice to your clients. You're doing even more of a well, not any even more, but you're doing a disservice to yourself too, equally as important for both of them. First and foremost, by doing a needs analysis, you truly understand what your client's needs are going to be. And if you're not doing that, somebody's going to come along behind you and offer a plan that you didn't, be it Medicare Advantage, Medicare Supplement, and say, my agent didn't talk to me about that. And you're going to lose that client. So, putting back into perspective that 18 million seniors that are going to go on Medicare over the next 9 years, give or take, that's going to equate to approximately 18 billion in premium. And that averages out about 2 billion a year. And without getting into specifics on commission and everything else, that's an awful lot of commission. If you take what your commission level and whatever it is you're on times that 2 billion a year just in first year premium, that's an awful lot of commission. So the opportunity is huge. And I won't even talk about compounding that. I'll let you guys do that in your head. So, one of the other things that I want to talk about with this is during that needs analysis process, you should make sure you ask your clients the right questions. And I'll get off the needs analysis for now, but if you don't use one, make sure you reach out to the marketing organization that sent you. I've done business with a lot of those marketing organizations. When I say business, I presented live events. In fact, I recognize a lot of the names or some of the names that are registered on this webinar. I've been out and presented live before them. All of these marketing organizations that have sent you to this webinar have access to give you that, as well as a lot of other tools. They're actually some of the best in the business. And I enjoy spending time. I enjoy promoting webinars on their behalf and presenting on their behalf. So make sure you reach out to them, get all the tools that they have available, because they're really great, some of the best in this business. So taking that a step further to the next piece of this, and there was some information in here that really opened my eyes to the opportunity. And this, again, is information that's from Telos Actuarial. But if you look at what a typical person that is on Medicare that's likely to purchase a Medicare supplement, demographic wise, 50% of them have over $7,500 annual income. The other 50% is still in a good range there. I know, looking at some other stats, there's about 11% of them that actually go down under 20,000, but that's not on here. But what stood out to me again was 50% of your typical person that's going to buy a Medicare supplement has an income of over $75,000. Important if you're purchasing leads, when you get to set demographic information, to be more successful, you kind of want to put it on a higher scale. Unless you're selling both Medicare Advantage and Medicare Supplement, which you should be, then it doesn't really matter. If you look at the other piece of it, 48% have a 4-year degree or more. On the next piece of this, and this is kind of where it really interests me, and when I talked about the needs analysis before and started using one, things really came to fruition for my own business. 84% of them own their own home, and 62% of them, 69% are married, but 62% of the households that you're going to go into have 2 people living in the household. So what that really means to you is a couple of things. Number one, 2 people is generally more opportunity for you. The higher income piece on this is also going to equate for more opportunity, especially if you do a needs analysis. A proper needs analysis is going to look at health history, where their family had cancer, how did they pay for that stuff, all of those things. All of this equates to 2 things, really. First and foremost, doing due diligence for your client, making sure you are absolutely covering any need that they may have, be it cancer plans, short-term care plans, dental plans, whatever it is that generally associates with the Medicare supplement and pairs well. On the flip side, Medicare Advantage, hospital indemnity, whatever it is, it's making sure that you are doing your due diligence and protecting your clients. I was reading a study on the Great Wealth Transfer. This group of seniors has the absolute tons of money. I can't remember the exact number, but an awful lot of money, mind-boggling money that they're going to be transferring down to their kids, to whatever. and they have a lot of assets to protect. So as an insurance agent, it's really our job to help them do that and make sure you cover all the needs that they have. And the other piece of it that's important for you as an agent, once you start doing that, once you start understanding your client, it opens the opportunity to really grow your business from an ancillary standpoint. And I was really bad at that at the beginning when I first got out there. After I started doing that, my business really took off on that front. So I beg you guys, if you have not used the needs analysis, reach out to the group that sent you here and get one. Going back to the stats on a Medicare supplement, what really drives people, and again, this is actually a different study from Deft Age-In study, but what drives people to a Medicare supplement? The biggest thing is the number one reason is they want unfettered access to any doctor or hospital, really. I mean, it may sound funny, but I've heard clients say something similar, not really in these exact words, but this is how I picture it is, I don't want to have to raise my hand and ask if I can go use XYZ doctor, or I could go use XYZ hospital. It may sound funny to say, but it's true. And these, seniors, they're kind of set in their ways. They want to do things the way they want to do it. And the biggest piece of this is really the ability to use any hospital or doctor. There's some other things. I mean, the simplicity of a Medicare supplement plan, it is so simple to use. In fact, one of the biggest things that, I'll talk about when I was building my block of business, the first thing that all my clients said, I targeted replacement business. So the clients I was actually trying to sell already had a Medicare supplement. First thing out of their mouth, I don't want to change anything. My Medicare supplement has worked great. And I'm like, that's great. I'm happy to hear it. Did you know that all Medicare supplements are designed that way? So again, they're so happy with their coverage. In fact, there's another study that says Medicare supplement policyholders have 93% satisfaction, highly satisfied or satisfied with their plan, how it works for them. So, the coverage is there, the simplicity of it is there. The other things that are important on here, and I offer you guys, if you'd like to take a screenshot of this, because I'm not going to dig into all these stats and bore you with it, but there's some great things here that you guys would like to know, or that I find interesting, at least myself, when it comes to, oops, I think I lost my screen. I think it's back. When it comes to what your clients really want, and when it comes to what you're actually supposed to be uncovering in that needs analysis. So I'm going to go ahead and end the second poll for you guys and start one last poll, and then we're going to dive in deep to the Allstate, all the reasons that you want to actually sell the Allstate MedSup. So just give me 1 second. And the last poll is, have you presented or been able to sell Allstate as we go through? Okay, so let's dive in deep to Allstate. I alluded at the very beginning of this that, Allstate to me is the best kept secret in the market. And why I say that is, I spend a lot of time, as I mentioned, out traveling to some of these partners and present on behalf, and I talk to a lot of agents. I'm there to train. I've learned an awful lot from you guys. In fact, probably more than I ever teach from just you guys in the field. And it's great interaction. But, one of the things is it's just like so many people don't even understand how the Allstate product works. And I hope, that's the ultimate goal here for you guys, is to make sure you understand how it works. Because to me, it's the best fit in my state of Georgia for a lot of the business I'm currently writing. So just want to make sure you guys understand that. Company profile, I'm pretty sure, or I hope a lot of you guys know who Allstate is, but some of you guys may really know them from the Nat Gen name. Just to kind of give you a little bit of background, Allstate actually purchased Nat Gen back in 2021 and was branding over to Allstate, and actually completed that branding over to everything being on Allstate paper October of last year. They're all part of the Allstate family of companies. I'm old enough to remember the Good Hands ads, all that stuff years ago. And then now currently have the Mayhem ads. One of the other things I kind of alluded to when I sit down and do a needs analysis to my company, or to my clients, forgive me, I typically ask them what's important to them when it comes to coverage. And there's really three basic buckets that those guys fall in. One of them is a financial stability of the carrier. That's not a huge one generally when you're selling Medicare supplements, but it is one that, some of those higher net worth clients are going to want to know the rating of the carrier. And you can't get much better than an A+ excellent rated carrier for AM Best with Allstate. So it's going to check off that box for you, make that conversation very easy for you guys to have. They do have 51 billion in annual revenue. They have an awful lot of policyholders. That's tremendous. 191 million policyholders out there. A huge portion of that is on their property and casualty side. But our brokers are now selling the Medicare supplement side, and they have ancillary products out there too. So there's a huge opportunity for you guys with the Allstate name in general. The free advertising is nothing to shake your head at either. Again, I alluded to the Good Hands People ads already, but the Mayhem ads, those crack me up. My wife wants to smack me because half the time I'll start ignoring her when I see him come on the TV. He just cracks me up. I watch a lot of sports. And again, though, the point of that is, the advertising is great for you guys as a agent. It's free advertising. And number two, it makes it easy to have the conversation about the carrier, because one of the other buckets that I always had when it came to talking to a consumer was, I've never heard of that carrier. You're not going to have that problem with Allstate. It makes the conversation comfortable. Conversation is comfortable about the financial stability of the carrier. Conversation is comfortable about Allstate because of the fact that they're a huge name that clients are going to recognize. And then the last thing, and this is where we're really going to get into the meat of presentation here real soon, is their multi-discount innovation. Typically every carrier out there has some sort of household discount, but Allstate takes that to a next level. And I consider it, they're pioneering this, and you're going to see more and more Medicare supplements take these same actions, especially once I give you some of the actuarial back end on these discounts that they're going to give you once we get going. So product highlights. This is really where we're going to get into the meat of this. And I'm going to go ahead and end the poll if you haven't, and get it off of there so that I can get it off my screen here. Product highlights for you guys. So brand new multi-discount program. This is really where Allstate sets themselves apart. And this is where agents get confused and especially lost when they're looking at CSG. If you use CSG rate quoting engines, you're going to see that Allstate basically broke those. If you're not using CSG rate quoting engines, I will suggest that the marketing organizations that sent you here have those tools for you for free. Make sure you reach out to the person that sent you, the group that sent you to this webinar. Take advantage of those free tools. But going back to the CSG piece of it, the rate quoting piece of it, for you guys, if you look at their rate quotes, it can be confusing because Allstate is listed so many times. I want to make that easy for you guys. I want to make it easy for you to understand this. So first and foremost, everybody has a household discount. If you don't know what I mean by HHD, that means household discount. So what that means is if somebody lives with their spouse, one policy, basically, depending on the state rules, only one of the two people has to apply to get 7% discount. They also have a 10% discount if both people in the house apply. And one good thing about this 10% that's worth noting for you guys, if two people apply, one is declined, the other one does not lose the 3%. They get to keep the 10% on there for you guys. I know you may look at this word verbiage on here and say, well, that's funny. That's a funny way to word it. It's specific. There's a rationale behind it. The rationale is when you're using rate quoting engines out there, such as CSG, when you start looking at the different rates, if you expand them, you're going to see these terminology. You're going to see roommate or household, and you're going to see dual. What you're going to see when you're doing that is if it only says roommate or it only says household, they're only applying the 7% discount on CSG. The word dual is going to mean the 10%, whichever way they've got it worded. So just want to highlight that. That's why I'm using that verbiage for you guys. Second, and this one is a big one too, annual pay discount. As many years as I sold in the field, there was never really a reason, maybe a real small reason to ask my clients to pay annually. So I generally just pushed them to a monthly premium and went on about my day. But now you have a real legitimate reason, and it has some sound actuarial information behind why it's a good discount. But all you got to do is ask that question. You'll find that an awful lot of seniors have the ability to pay an annual premium, especially if they can save 10%. So one more question is going to save your client an additional 10%. So now you can have anywhere from 7 to 20% in discounts on their premium. The last one that is their stackable discount is 5% activity tracker discount. Now, this is not going to be for every client, but it's not that difficult to get set up. So kind of a couple of tidbits on this. It has to be one, currently, they're looking at changing it, but it has to be one of the 6 major brands like Apple, Fitbit, a wearable actual device that they can have, a watch, something along those lines. And the only requirements for your clients with this is 2 things. First one is probably the more challenging one, is registering it with Allstate. Once it's registered, the only other requirement that your clients are going to have is take 1 step a day. All they got to do is pick up that Fitbit, do whatever, get out of bed. That's it. Now, I will tell you, since I said there is a requirement there, Allstate is never, ever going to reach out to your client and say, hey, I noticed you only took 1 step every day. Never going to happen. The information that they're using is just basically actuarial information. It's not something that's used against your clients for underwriting purposes later, or any type of rate increase information. It has nothing to do with your client and this policy. They're tracking that information for future endeavors, future products. So just make sure you guys are aware of that too. It's not something they're going to use against your client. So, having said all of this, again, now you have there's multitudes. If you look at it this way, you can have 5%, you can have 7%, you can have 10%, you can have 15. You have so many combinations of stacking this, of discounts available to your client. That's why you see so many rates on CSG when you get there. And I'm going to kind of make it easy. I want to talk through that piece with you guys a little bit later in this. And, this presentation doesn't have that much longer. So I want to make sure you guys know we're not going on for an hour here, probably 20 more minutes and we'll be done. So again, back to these discounts. Here's another thing. If I was actively writing instead of servicing my clients in the market today, think about the opportunity you have to generate new business just based on this. And what I mean by that, if you guys use social media, if you could put some sort of post together, you cannot mention the Allstate name, but if you put some sort of social media post out there, something along the lines, you got to get more creative than me. I'll admit it. I'm not creative with this stuff. But if you could put something out there that said, hey, if I could save you 25% on your premiums, which is the equivalent of 3 months free premium on your Medicare supplement, would that interest you? I guarantee you're going to get your phone ringing. So get creative with that. Huge, huge opportunity to draw business to your own agency, just utilizing these discounts to drum up new business. Great opportunity to replace somebody else's business, because once you see in a minute, once you stack these rates, the rates are tremendous. So let's talk about the other thing that Allstate has done. And, some companies have done it, some have not. Above and beyond their stackable discounts, they have a second rating class. This is for your healthier clients, so you need to be aware of that. This is not for everybody, but you may as well reward those healthier clients that have, a little bit better shape, not overweight. We're going to kind of really touch on those things. So I guess I'll go there now. There's only 3 requirements above and beyond underwriting for this class. And I just quantify for you guys that this is an underwritten piece of business. It really starts at age 66. Everybody that's turned 65 and gets on there is under the preferred select rating class, but it kind of changes at age 66. Not everybody's on it from 66 on. So everybody at age 65, the class is considered preferred select class rating. To get through the legals and without going into too deep in the weeds, There are some loopholes of people that can get through without underwriting, but for the most part, everybody's pretty much underwritten on this. So that one piece, and then you add in the tighter height and weight requirement, which is not that much difference. I mean, it is a little bit stricter than your standard versus your preferred select rate classes, but it's not out of whack. So it's not too big a hurdle to get through. But the second thing is there is one additional health question for you. So your client has a little bit more physically fit. The next thing is there's one additional health question. Good news, when we get to the portal, this health question is actually asked up front in the quoting piece of it. Makes your life easy. I love the portal. We're going to talk about that in a few minutes. But here's the question for you. Within the last 5 years, has your client had medication been prescribed or recommended for depression? That's it. That question. Depression is one of those things that can wear on a person that's not healthy. So I get why they're asking that question, but that's it. That's the additional health question that needs to be asked. As long as they can go through the rest of the underwriting on there, they're going to qualify again for preferred select. Now let's talk about the last thing. Well, no, let's not talk about the last thing. Banded rates. I forgot about this. So your typical client on a Medicare supplement gets generally, depending on the way the rates are set up in the state, but they have some type of age increase every year that they're going to take. With the preferred select rate, it's banded from age 66 to 70. So those typical rate increases just based on age, you're not going to see from 66 to 70. They start those at age 71. So again, rewarding your healthy clients with a lower rate. The rate is already low to start with, and then you get to reward them with that rate being banded through age 70. Now, I must put a caveat in here. If Allstate does take an entire block of business rate increase based on loss ratios, anything along those lines, the preferred select will also take that, but it would be the preferred select block of business that's actually taking that. So again, that's huge. So if you understand how that works, that's huge. If you don't, I ask for, follow-up, reach out to your marketing organizations, and we can get you in touch with more information there. The other qualifier, which I said there was 3, is no tobacco. So they have to be able to answer no to the tobacco question, depending on the state, whether it's 12 months, 24 months, whatever it happens to be. Again, this class is for your healthier people, but that's a great way to reward them. And some of the rates that you're going to see on the preferred select for your clients, especially if they take care of the annual or want to pay annually, are amazing. So if this is a great opportunity, if you'd like to screenshot or phone shot this page before we go on to the next one, that's the requirements for your preferred select pieces or preferred select clients there. So now then, the multi-discount implications. I talked to you guys about the discounts that they were giving, having sound actuarial information. One of the biggest questions I always get from agents in the field is rate increases. What's going to happen with rate increases? And being an agent in the field, I understand that. I dealt with certain carriers sometimes that had rate increases. But let me talk to you guys in general terms. First and foremost, you, me, everybody writing these products drives the rate increases. There's no way around that. I talk about that all the time. I'm just as guilty as anybody else in the market of putting bad business with clients. Sometimes there's no avoidance on it. I get it. We have clients that are not going to be healthy. What you can do to avoid the risk of killing the carriers that you love the most is spread your bad business or unhealthy business around. There's plenty of options with great rates that you can move your clients to. So just be aware, when we talk rate increases. But I'm talking of that in general. The preferred select rating is going to be healthier clients, which is going to drive healthier claims ratios for your clients, which is going to mean lower rate increases unless something catastrophic happens. Sometimes things happen. You never know what's going to happen with a block of business. The next one is 10% annual pay discount. You may look at that and say, well, that's kind of dumb. Giving 10% off just for paying annually, that has nothing to do with health. Well, actually, actuarially, paying annually, first of all, for you guys as an agent has better persistency, but actuarially, information that we've gotten back is people that are in a better financial position are usually more conscious of their health. So the ones that are going to be able to pay annually are better financially positioned. And you tack on to that, those same people tend to have better claim outcomes. They take better care of themselves. They're typically educated. They know what to do. So there is sound actuarial information that goes along with this annual pay discount. And then the last one, we talked about the wearable. Again, that's not for every client, but obviously if they're using a wearable device, you would figure they're measuring their steps, they're doing those sort of things to take good care of themselves, lose weight, get in better shape, those things. So everything that's associated with the typical discounts is sound actuarially for you guys. Hey, I didn't mention, actually, let me go back here. I talked about the rates for you guys. One thing that I did not highlight, and this one is overlooked when I'm talking to agents in the field, the annual pay discount. When you guys typically, and I was guilty of it. In fact, I kept asking Allstate why I couldn't get the rates to match because I was trying to apply all the discounts and then I was trying to figure out what it was monthly. It was kind of a green light, hey, you moron, Ted, moment for me because you can't use monthly rates on CSG to get this annual discount. It's never going to show up. So make sure whatever rate you're looking at, it be a rate sheet, be it CSG, be whatever it is, however you calculate that rate, make sure you calculate that annual discount. Include it when you compare rates for your client. I cannot stress that enough. In fact, if you click on the annual tab and click on the apply discounts tab, while you're in CSG, and I don't have a visual here for you, but if you know it, you know what I'm talking about. If you don't, please, again, reach out to your marketing organization. They'll give you free access to CSG and they'll teach you this. But once you click on that annual and apply discounts, you're going to see most cases, Allstate has moved into number one, and they probably hold number 1 through number 5, maybe number 1 through number 8 as far as positions before the next best Medicare supplement. And there's some great low rates out there with some carriers I do a lot of business with. But some examples, while I'm looking through Georgia, sometimes I'll see my client, my annual rate for my Allstate client is around $800, $850, give or take. The next best competitor outside of Allstate is around $1,075 to $1,100, depending on where it is. There is a huge difference in savings. So I cannot stress enough, look at that annual because you're never going to find it on the monthly. So back on through those. The other thing, hey, great value adds for your clients. Every Medicare supplement policyholder gets what's called amplifying hearing care. I don't know if any of you guys have had experience with hearing aids. I personally haven't, but I've talked to a lot of my clients. I've talked to a lot of people, and they're kind of expensive. First and foremost, once they have a Medicare supplement through Allstate, they get access to this. What that gives them is a $75 hearing exam, and that's free at Miracle Ear. Otherwise, anywhere else they want to go, $75 hearing exam. That's not bad. The next piece is they have huge discounts on their hearing aids starting at $700. Again, those can be very, very expensive. A great opportunity to save your clients money again. Be their hero because hearing aids are very expensive. The next thing, this one's really important. 1 year free follow-up care. Again, back to if you don't know anything about hearing aids, a lot of times clients have to go have those hearing aids fine-tuned. All those follow-up care visits are free. So that's a substantial savings for your client. Sometimes it's only one follow-up visit to go get it tuned. Sometimes it's 5 or 6. Think about the savings there again for your client. It's a great value add when you're presenting the Allstate product to talk about this with those clients, especially if they have hearing aids. It's a great question for your needs analysis. Do they have hearing aids? Because this will kind of steer you in the right direction. The next piece of this batteries. Batteries for hearing aids are expensive from what I understand. So 2 years of free batteries, that's a nice little benefit and a huge savings for your clients again. And then the last one, there is a 3-year warranty with loss and damage protection. So I know the first thing I did when I got AirPods, I lost one of them. So here you go. This is great. I'm sure seniors, when they first get hearing aids, have to lose them. Opportunity to save them some money there. The other piece, this one's a big one again. You know, I know clients ask a lot about any type of active and fitness programs, all the high names ones that are out there, big name ones that are out there. I'm not going to dive into theirs. So now you get to offer those clients something in return also. And the funny thing about it is many of those clients that ask about it, truly the back end information on that is they're only utilized about 3%. So it's kind of funny. The reason I mentioned that 3% is the way this one is designed. There's two pieces to it. There's a free piece and a paid piece. The free piece gives them access to thousands of workout videos that they can do in their house at no cost to them. You know, that's important still. A lot of seniors still don't want to get out. They're not comfortable yet after what COVID did and everything else. So that's a nice benefit to them, having access to all those videos. That's the free piece. The paid piece is access to 10,000 plus fitness centers. I will tell you, I've looked through most all of the big name fitness centers that they're going to want to participate are in here. This $28 a month. Now, again, I told you most of the other ones out there, utilization is very low. Again, $28 a month is a lot cheaper than most of the gyms out there. But here's the beautiful part about this. You know, I work with somebody who used to work at gyms and all this, and I make fun of them all the time, but you don't have to deal with cheesy gym salesmen. And what I mean by that is all you got to do is go on the Active and Fit website, enroll. And the beautiful thing about it is there's no contract. And let's say that they were going to XYZ gym and now they want to go find one that has a pool or pickleball or whatever their senior wants to play. They can go back on the Active and Fit today and change memberships. Again, they don't have to go deal with any gym salesman. Change it, show up at the new gym and go. So it's a great benefit for your clients. Again, huge value add for you guys. I mentioned a no long-term contract. I kind of walked you through visually on the change fitness centers at any time. So I stole my own thunder, but I was excited. So let's talk about the product offering map. This is everywhere that it's available, and actually all the colors up here in orange actually have gone into effect June 1st. So really pretty much everywhere you have on here has the multi-discount products for you, except for the blue. The blue only has household discounts currently. I believe Allstate is working on fixing that for you, but everywhere but the blue now has the household discounts up and running. I believe Pennsylvania only has 5% on the annual discount. There's one or two oddballs. Ohio has no activity tracker discount available, and the preferred select available is not in Ohio, California, and Minnesota. But everywhere else, you got that opportunity to use that social media post, advertise that, hey, you could save them 25%. Did you know that's basically the equivalent of 3 months free premium every year? However you want to do it. Don't use the Allstate. Don't get cheesy, but take full advantage of that. So I talked about rates. I want to make an important caveat before you look at this rate chart and make sure you understand that this is the base rate for Allstate. The only thing that is included currently in this rate is the same thing that's included in every other rate up here, the single policy household discount, whether it's 6%, whatever it is, starting with this rate, this is a one-person discount only. Once you start to stack this, you're going to see this rate drop in Texas. I don't know where it goes. I do know in Georgia, the rate starts to get down around close to $90, $80 on a plan G with that discount applied. So the savings is tremendous. There's so many different pieces in there. But having said that, the base rate is great as it is. So again, comparing this to the tier one carriers, there's a lot of other carriers out there this could be compared to. I will tell you this, if you're asking that question about the other carriers, Allstate, if you do the discounts and the annual, Allstate, every single state I've ever looked at on CSG is number one. That's huge for you. So you have the opportunity, and I gave you the sound actuarial information behind that to go with it. So now, real quick, underwriting highlights. We're going to get through this pretty quickly, and then we'll be done, and I'll wrap it up for you guys. Couple of things here, typical heart 2-year look back, cancer 2-year look back, stroke 2-year look back. They do accept up to 50 units of insulin. I do want to point out, especially because I know about half this group is new to the business. This is where you can get through underwriting and think you've got a policy that's going to be issued because they answered no to all the health questions, and you can still have a decline. I want to make sure, actually, this goes for most every carrier out there I do business with. But when you look at somebody that has diabetes, if their medications are changing, their insulin is changing, their heart medications are changing, other medications are changing, that's a red flag to the underwriters that this person is not taking care of themselves. They're not doing what they're supposed to do to take care of their diabetes. Chances are strong, those are going to be declines. So just be aware of that, especially if you're newer in this business. I've got some other webinars coming up. Make sure you reach out to your marketing organization to teach you more about the Medicare supplement market. Electronic enrollments are available on CSG platform. If you write Medicare Advantage, if you're rolling through the CSG platform, Allstate is there. You can enroll your clients right there. More and more companies are going there. I love it. The other piece is on the underwriting piece. I think it's in my agent experience. If it's not, I'm going to steal the thunder. 80% of the underwritten applications are on the spot underwriting. And I know that's part of my agent experience here, but that's part of the underwriting piece too. So I'm going to highlight it both places. So I mentioned the preferred select, and that health question was asked early in the process. You know, I love the Allstate app. It's one of my favorite apps for a few reasons, but this one the most. Their quoting tool goes in order as an agent and an application should really go. First and foremost, it quotes, and this one will quote you specifically for the preferred select piece. So it's going to ask you their zip code. It's going to ask you their height and weight, which will already trigger one of the preferred select. It's going to ask you the tobacco question, as long as they answer no to that, and they also get into the right height and weight range, then it's going to go ahead and ask you the next question, which was that depression question I asked you earlier. It goes right in that order. And you know what the best thing about this app is after that? It goes ahead and asks you the health questions and all of that stuff to get through where you can get hung up and lose a client because they forgot they had something in their health history, and you already know you don't have to go any further. How many times have we gotten through apps, we didn't do a good job pre-qualifying our clients, asking them those health questions, and then we get all the way to the end of the app or 3/4 of the way, we've got socials, we've got banking information, we've got medications, which is a pain, all in the system only to find out that they forgot one question. This one, next thing you're going to have is your health questions. I love it. I wish more companies would do it. It's great. It's a great agent experience. It's user friendly. I talk about it. Ease of doing business. They make it easy to do business. The other piece, I talked about the instant decision, but what that means, think about this. AEP, no longer waiting on 80% of your business and running up against a time crunch to find out that you're going to have your policy issued by effective date. That also gives you the ability to have an instant ID card download. Electronic enrollments are available on CSG. We've talked about that twice. This one's not that big a deal, but it is unique. Any day effective dates, meaning you can write it for the 29th, 30th, 31st. And they have all kinds of back-end tools for you guys. So that's really the most important information. One last piece, financially, they do run bonus programs all the time. This one's about to end at the end of the quarter. This one was 10 policies in the second quarter. Then you get an additional $125 on each underwritten piece of business. Anniversary rules were 50. Open enrollment was 25. They will be kicking off a new one in July. If you guys are aggressive, you want to get out there and write 10 before the end of June, hey, more power to you. But otherwise, there'll be a new one kicking off in July. The last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put 2 polls up real quick. I would beg you guys to please help me on this so I can make these webinars better. The first one is up there. If you can answer it for me while I close. I do beg you guys also to reach out to your marketing organization that sent you here. Those guys are some of the best in this business. They offer free tools. You know, I talked about CSG for you guys. There's so many other tools. These guys want to make you successful. They want to help you grow your business. They want to get those needs analysis in your hands. And I'm gonna go ahead and close this poll so I can get the very last one while I'm closing everything else. Thank you for those that did participate in this one. But those partners that sent you here, they really, really, really want to help you guys grow your business. The second polls or last polls up, they want to help you grow your business. They want you guys to be successful. They want to help you guys grow. It's funny because I recruited a lot of people 21 years ago that are now big national agencies that are being acquired by large companies. So the opportunity is huge. Take advantage of the tools these marketing organizations offer you and let them help you grow your business that much more, especially if you're new in this business. Having said that, I greatly appreciate everybody that participated. I do appreciate your time today. And again, my name's Ted Sims. I have a bunch more webinars coming up, so please reach out to your marketing organizations. They'll get you the links of the other webinars I do have coming. I hope you all have a great day. And if you have any questions on this, again, reach out to the marketing organization that sent you. They will be happy to answer those for you. Have a great day. Thank you.